I'm Jin Sung, founder of Gudfood. We all like to keep a good habit. It makes us feel good and give us purpose to live. And if you're like me, who's a health maniac, I'm sure you heard of the phrase that your body is a temple. But how well do you follow that principle? And how important is your diet really to maintain that strong, resilient body in the long run? Let me show you. If you don't keep a good eating habit consistently, you can contract any of these diseases listed on the screen. What's important for you to know is that your body always needs many other nutrients to function at its highest capacity. And a lot of the times, people don't even know what a good diet is and often ask the wrong questions, like what is omega-3? How should I even take supplements? Do I drink protein shakes? How does a fit person look like? And when they don't even have the motivation to even start researching for themselves what good foods to invite to their body. And to give you an example of how to look good, I brought these three different groups of people. So bigger bodybuilder on the left, the obese man in the middle, the woman on the right. And if you thought I was gonna make you guess out of the three who is the healthiest, well, that's a trick question because no one is healthy in the picture. And looks doesn't matter in health. The bodybuilder's diet is excessive and it's protein and carbohydrates focused, which leads to lack of vitamins and minerals. While the girl on the right is diabetic despite her looking relatively normal. And for people who are trying to lose weight, it's found that 35% of dieters regain all their weight after a rigorous diet plan, or they even gain more weight after that diet plan because they still have that inner self that craves food and wants food. And according to Kevin D. Hall and Scott Can, interaction with healthcare providers or in a group setting significantly improves weight maintenance in the long outcome. So what that means for you is that you need to surround yourself in a good environment with good friends who support you and motivate you forward to keep that diet plan going. So we decided to bet on that idea to create Gudfood, where it takes the aspect of MyFitnessPal and Heavy. So you can log in, conduct a survey for our app to measure your diet plan, which is all done automatically. Invite your friends to track your personal progress by taking a quick picture of your food, and the AI will give you insights on how your diet looks and what you should improve on. And you can also compare who is keeping their diets right with your friends. And this all seems to be pretty similar to MyFitnessPal and Kala AI, but how are we going to differentiate? So here's a heat map for you. So we plan to leverage these existing models with a community-focused approach and integrate our business with clinics and dietitians to better track their clients' diet choices to accurately point out what their potential health risk is in their diet. So if you have a dietitian or clinic that you go to, you can bring this app to show what your progress was and what you lack so they can point out why some of your health is diminishing. So using this principle of community-based tracking and to prove how it works, we conducted an experiment. 6 friends and an Excel to track what we eat, and our main motivator was to either gain weight or lose weight, with our daily goal of calories calculated prior to the experiment. So results were very positive, where 75% of the diets were kept very consistently. Everyone had an average of 22 days of well-kept diet in 1 month. And after our experiment, we all collectively thought about what would be the best revenue model to maximize the retention and activation rate, where we decided that it was best to keep it premium. So where premium means the most essential elements of the app is kept free, while all the other features, the premium features, we like to call it, are available after a subscription, after the user pays the subscription fee. So now that we have that solid idea on how we will run our app and how users will pay the app, what is next for us? So now that we have that support from several supporting groups, we would use our app, and we now plan to bring developers in our team to fully develop and pilot test the app. And I hope you are as excited as I am to bring this to life and show what leveling up your diet really means. This is our team. Our advisor is Dr. Sebastian. I'm Jinsang Lee, and my partner is Yanika. And thank you. So moving on to our progress and what we did, we conducted a survey. This is a CRM that I created with Google Sheets. So we conducted 100 surveys during the time that I was in exchange, because what I initially thought was I could kind of recruit before and recruit during the exchange program, but it's very hard because I need to basically sell this idea to my teammates. And it's hard for me to do that because I'm abroad, and it's hard to connect with different people who are interested to develop the app. So what I did in Berkeley was to interview and conduct research. So I've conducted 100 interviews so far, and I have some more that is not documented, that is not on the CRM. I just asked some personal questions. So this is the CRM that I have, this picture of it. And I also created the company profile while I was here, so I can kind of get the idea of what I want to do. And this is basically what I kind of have. And um, and I've conducted a few experiments, which I'll get to sooner. And um, I also created a plan, an outline to kind of follow through when I'm in Thailand. So this is what I have for now. So our top priorities will be assembling the core team, finalizing the roles, which is mainly going to be a developer. And also we plan to hopefully get a person who is interested in this project enough, who is also a nutrition advisor. And those are the two top priorities of the team that we need. And later on, we'll also need marketing and sales and etc. So we will also, next top priority is to validate our product market fit locally in Thailand, because I've been doing it mainly in Berkeley. And after doing our top priorities and checking checklists, we will build and test after we have the development team. So we will develop the MVP, use and incorporate the AI into the app to finalize the wireframes, pass it to developer, and kind of build the key features. And our main goal will be to maximize keeping the retention within the app. So we'll pilot launch and with controlled groups, and we'll test it with 10 to 30 users. And we'll collect feedback and rerun the pilot test until we optimize the app. And after we pilot test, what our next plan is going to be is the marketing. So building brand presence. So we're gonna set up the Instagram, TikTok, line away with our app's aesthetics and tones. And we're basically going to educate people about what good diet plans mean and why we're so different from MyFitnessPal. And we're also going to work on our partnerships by reaching out to dietitians, gyms, wellness cafes, university organizations, and clinics, and offer a co-branded challenges or referral incentives to these uh, partners. I spent the whole 6 months validating and kind of refining this idea to work. And with the freemium aspect of the app, I calculated the monthly revenues, only taking into account the social media marketing on Instagram, TikTok, and etc. So you can tell that the active users are pretty linear, but this is basically how the app will look like. Some people actually mentioned that we have a way too early break-even point, which I disagree because we we think that the I've researched on online that apps are supposed to break even within 6 months before 12 months. So that's what I was trying to really go for. And this is the numbers we came up with. And I've done a bunch of experiments with how our retention rates will look and activation rates will look and how that will affect us growing this app. So something else that I did while working on this app in this semester was to do my conduct competition research, competitive research. And my main competitors seem to be MyFitnessPal and Cal AI. And there was another app that kind of incorporated Duolingo into this aspect of dietary tracking. But they all had flaws. They all had this flaw of not having this hypothesis of dietitian tracking is well kept when there's competition, when there's people who are motivating you to drive forward. So that's what I'm trying to go for. And I've actually conducted a competitive research by using their apps and actually paying for their apps. And I can show you right now. So MyFitnessPal is what I really liked the most. And of course, I haven't been using it quite recently, but MyFitnessPal does lack in its tracking process, and it's very hard to access and stuff like that. I've conducted a lot of research um and doing that primary research that really takes a long time to validate. And I think that's what I mo spent the most time on was trying to pivot into what kind of ideas I can and how I can differentiate my idea from my competitors. So that's my progress as of now in terms of what I'm going to do and what I have done throughout this project. And to kind of summarize this video, I wanted to briefly talk about what's new and what has improved since the last semester. And what's new here is that I have a new idea. It's not a easy challenge for me to do, but I'm excited for this journey because I'm more passionate now. That's what changed. And I think I have a better footing now because I have a lot of validations and I've actually worked on this project and now I now see that the revenue structure is there. I know how to gain that money and I know what to do when I go back to Thailand to kind of set up that team, set up that dream team to make the app and pilot test. So, and I think what kind of also improved from the last one was that the last one required me to be a speaker, and I'm not really a speaker. I'm not really a public speaker person. And I think this one is much more better fit for me because I'm more passionate about this project. I'm more passionate about this subject, and I'm able to kind of carry out this project with passion and this and this better footing now that I'm at the exchange and now that I have a solid idea. So thank you, Dr. Ronnie, for listening.